Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are new to the channel, welcome and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Do subscribe to the channel and turn on notification if you are here. And of course, for all of you, DBM share link no amount for once a very big thank you to you. Almost 25,000 subscribers right now, and serious good. Once a big thank you to you. For the Panthers as well, if you want the bet codes, almost every social media handle of Fiifi-Manfred available for you to go there and go and enjoy over there on Twitter, Facebook. Here in the description of the video, it's also in there for any games to Italian Serie A, German Bundesliga. I've always said that usually the smaller odds has a high probability of winning it. Then go for the smaller ones, and then let's hope that today's green for you guys. So thank you very much. Let us get into it. In there are two big games, two very big games. I mean, equal magnitude. In English FA Cup, any Spanish Super Cup final. Very important games in terms of social Manchester United, what they are in for, and then of course for Real Madrid and then also Barcelona, what they are in for. It's very important. So we'll get into the analysis of the game. We'll get into it, discuss it tactically, and also go into the other one as well. But first of all, now, like I did mention, Chelsea were able to win that game against Morecambe, and essentially, the game had to be won by Chelsea because in 4 games they were winless. And say also we are in a title charge, or not only in a title charge, or build or projects and what have you. Not in 4 games you go winless. It's a little bit of a blip. In fact, a little bit of a blip, a huge blip. And Enzo Maresca knew that the FA Cup nearby, the kind of opponent on Babishano, gave them a huge opportunity to go ahead and win the game. And to be very honest, social match now, at the beginning, there was some jitters. I mean, now Utimi Fili say Chelsea players, maybe Joao Felix, Tosin Adrebiayo, those who don't really played for long, Renato Vega, know me a little bit uncomfortable. In fact, key amongst them a goalkeeper, Philip Jorgensen. He had issues with his aerial collections, then he do also sign him. And I'm thinking, say maybe that's the reason why Enzo Maresca prefers to play Robert Sanchez in the English Premier League and then play Philip Jorgensen in the cup games and of course in Europe and stuff like that. Because if you don't take care in the English Premier League, you'll be devolved from corner kicks. I mean, all of us did you didn't come about sending Arsenal for near top or corner kicks. Now they can score from corner kicks. So your goalkeeper, one of the first things is that he needs to be confident and one of the best in terms of aerial claims. And yesterday, a branch and your friend Philip Jorgensen was not good at that. And like I said, it was the game that was supposed to be about Chelsea gaining some confidence. Where have they been? How have they been? How have they grown in the last few games? They had gotten one whole week away from playing. Now again, it's also a match now. One thing that was very important was that Chelsea were playing against Morecambe. Now, Morecambe and all of those League 1, League 2 side, Championship sides, now they're back home where Pani said they sit in a low block. We explained a couple of weeks ago, said that has been the kind of games that Chelsea have played against. In Everton, Fulham, Ipswich Town, Crystal Palace. All of these teams have come in and have been very aggressive. They've played in low blocks. Almost City in the less spaces in front of them for Chelsea to try and hit Chelsea, to let Chelsea to break them down. We mentioned the fact that around that time, the absence of Marco Correa in one of those games did affect Chelsea. The fact that also against Ipswich and team and friend of Fulham, Chelsea were able to create the needed chances, but they weren't able to bury it. And now, Pat Niven said something that I think that's very interesting. Say Enzo Maresca said, okay, fine. Chelsea are not there yet. They are not in the title race. They are not mature just yet. In as much as Senna or winning matches now. I mean, to an extent, it is true. But then also in recent games, you can pinpoint the problem as Nicolas Jackson not being clinical in front of post, and that's very important. And throughout January, the clarion call has been simple. Obiaka say, oh, Chelsea need to get a proper centre forward. I'll be teaming a converted goals. The thing is that you can look at the statistical part of the conversation and say, okay, Jackson in 5 chances, or she 2, or she 1 chance, or she 3. But those very big, tough, bulky, aggressive centre forwards, now what they do is that in 1 chance they score it. And that's how they make their money. Also, Mr. Robert Lewandowski, Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, these guys, I mean, John Duran, when it matters most, the ball striking, the positioning, where to get a goal. So these guys are top to the levels where you know that they can get a job done. And that's exactly what Pat Nevin is saying. Say, AB and Chelsea will be it's a star player now. That season probably would have been different. Now, on Tuesday, there is a game for Chelsea. Chelsea would have to go back into English Premier League, Nyame Adoma Tuesday. A very important game that they are playing in there. And the fact that in the game against team and friend Malcolm, Reece James and Romeo Lavia had 45 minutes is very important. I've explained before. Now, Reece James has that passing range and ability to get into from a back four into a back three and then be the right centre back. The aggression and what have you, he can do it. I'm thinking saying the next game at Chelsea against AFC Bournemouth or Stamford Bridge, he will not bring back Reece James to start the game. I think that Joshua Acheampong will play that game because I think that in the game against Crystal Palace, it was a huge test for Brentford friend Joshua Acheampong. And he was stopped against Jean-Philippe Mateta, one of the best hold-up centre forward to English Premier League game. For a 17-year-old boy, he was able to hold his own very well. And he deserves a lot of the credits, and I think that he's going to do that again. One of the things that sets out Kofi Acheampong for one, and that makes me believe so, or a fit for the English Premier League is the cognitive part of the game. And Makani several times said, really, the game is about your brain. Well, Nino and Sunny are just tools for it. How you read the game, how you step into danger, how you understand danger, how you make sure so you go into certain zones where you have to be in to receive the ball, the body shape, body orientation, all those nitty-gritties are so important, in football at the highest level. And that's what I think Joshua Kofi Acheampong has. Again, in and around all of that conversation, you speak about the fact that sometimes Saudi play or you cry about the senior team one. Then you are looking at, okay, maybe some player will behave so you're out of place, as you're a little bit ditchy, as you're uncomfortable, but Joshua Acheampong stepped into it. I did not see at any point in time Joshua Acheampong look like Obia or you're a little bit uncomfortable and as a ball or you're out of place. No, he stepped into it and ball and on the results that he had. And I would say in the match day program, Reece James, captain of the club, was speaking in. He mentioned that, apart from the fact that Chelsea were able to win that game and they drew 1-1 to Crystal Palace, in terms of the game in itself, how well they played in itself, Joshua Acheampong was stopped. And I think that's exactly what you want from him. So I'm thinking, saying the game against Bournemouth, Chelsea will need that. Now, maybe that means that Joshua Acheampong plays at right centre back. Then you have Levi Cole as CCB, centre back. And for him to get onto the ball and break the lines. Again, Bournemouth's team and Andoni Areola have been very stubborn in terms of more press, on the ball, off the ball. It's a team that you need to be very careful playing against. If you give them spaces, if you allow them to get you on the ball or control senior good enough, they are very aggressive. They will hurt you. They will hurt you, in fact. And it's one of the teams that you need to be very, very careful about. And like I said, the last time I saw a documentary, or I think Premier League TV, about the Premier League managers from the Basque region of Spain, and essentially like Unai Emery, like Mikel Arteta, and Brentford friend Andoni Areola, all of them grew up through the ranks of Real Sociedad, and apparently almost all of them have similarities in how they set up their teams. They will press you aggressively, but when they have to come and sit deep and be very compact, they want to do that. And a little bit unconventional with the Spanish way of playing. Usually the Spanish way of playing is like the Pep one. Heavy metal, press, aggressive counter press, but they vary it. And on about Bournemouth for a little bit of a banana skin again. When Chelsea went away to the vitality earlier on this season, it was just a one goal from a Brentford friend, Christopher and Kuku. So a really dicey game coming up, but an important win for Chelsea in the sense to say they had to get back to winning ways, in the sense that they had to get something and then bring back their confidence with respect to how the games were going on. It was very, very important for them to go into that game and then get the results that they got. And now, after the game, the players spoke. Tosin Aderabioyo said, "It's the first time in my professional career I was on a hat-trick. I wanted to have another shot, but the moment never came." Over there, talking about Tosin Aderabioyo and how good he was yesterday. And now all the players went to the Instagram and they seemed to be shocked. Said Tosin Aderabioyo was able to shoot because apparently in training, on shooting crowd. Tosin Aderabioyo on crowd shouting shoot every time. He said, "I heard it a couple of times when I got the ball on the halfway line. I wanted to, but I was far out. I was too far out. Playing against and being able to showcase your abilities is always great. So it's nice to do that on this day like that, and it's something important for me." Like I said, Marco Crea in the game against Malcolm, I said, the form no ever being form no bar beam, and if Marco Crea is able to get onto that form for the rest of the season, then it has come right at the right time. I've said in the game against Everton, his absence really worried the team. Ipswich Town, where he was playing, didn't help. The plan to accommodate Joao Felix and then Cole Palmer inside and keep him on the wing really didn't help the team again. And Marco Correa was brought into Enzo Maresca's style of play. Links up George was very, very perfect. Once you keep the winger, keeping it wide, Marco Correa will do a lot of the underlaps, and that's why he's so important to Chelsea over there. Christopher Nkunku this season at Chelsea, 12 starts in all competitions, 4 assists, 12 goals, 16 goal involvement for our branch friend Christopher Nkunku. Very, very important player in there and how good he was. Enzo Maresca spoke about Tyreek George, and I'll say Tyreek is doing well with us. He already played some games in the Conference League. He is the same age as Josh, very young, so hopefully we can give them some more minutes to play and then showcase what they know. Enzo Maresca did mention, and I said Noni Madueke, prior. I mean, he was ill actually in April. He was ill before the game and he had to sit out of this one. And see, I think that was it. I mean, good tidings for Chelsea. I mean, good win back. They needed that win. Very, very important. Yes, it was a small team, but then whilst it was a small team, it was important that Chelsea gets that job done and then gets the results in there. And then it was something that they needed and they've gotten it back into it. They would want to make sure they continue in that trajectory. It's a big one. Big one. The next one is going to be against Bournemouth. And yesterday what I was hearing is that Bournemouth, Dortmund's manager Nuri Sahin has contacted Chelsea personally for Abrante's friend Akani Chukwuemeka. I mean, everybody knows that one of my favorite players are Chelsea, Akani. But of course, for some reason, Enzo Maresca doesn't fancy him on Shedan use. I've said several times that if you want a good ball carrier who has that frame to get a job done, then it's Kans. But again, I would love to say Chelsea will not sell him. They have to take him on loan to Dortmund. Then he has to go and get some playing time or German Bundesliga. And I think it's going to be a very, very good one. Kani wanted by Nuri Sahin. Loan deal with Chelsea covering half of his wages is the only option now. And Kani Chukwuemeka edging 100k pounds a week. That's some good money there from Kani Chukwuemeka. And of course, what I'm hearing from Pat Nevin, and he said the deal is getting into isolation. Yesterday, something really dramatic popped up. And it's the fact that after Pep Guardiola was our match in Manchester City game, he went to the post-match press conference and he said something that was rather unexpected. And the kind of said, a branch here friend, Kylie Walker, has mentioned to him, said he is thinking of leaving Manchester City for new challenges abroad. You see, in the past, the English boys never really wanted to go and play abroad, and they just wanted to play in England because, of course, the notion is that the English Premier League are the best in the world. They didn't really fancy going to play in Spain. They didn't fancy going to play in Italy. They didn't fancy going to play in Germany. Not even the French League are. But in recent times, it looks as if these boys want to go for some opportunities when you go to Italy, for one, where AC Milan, the English boys are there. Tammy Abraham, look a bit Solu Fikayo Tomori. All of these guys are there. But it looks as if now, when they are not getting opportunities or when they are growing, they want to go elsewhere. And I think that's actually good for the English game. I'll say Kyle Walker will hear AC Milan proposal as there are also interest from Saudi Arabia. Milan are keen on discussing with Kyle Walker with hope not to spend any money in the transfer fee. If Man City lets him leave for free now, Abrante Fred Kyle Walker will probably go in there to go and get a job done at team my friend AC Milan. And AC Milan are racking up these players. They know how important these players are. Also, our conversation, and we wait to see how that is going to happen in terms of Kyle Walker going away to AC Milan. And is the Super El Grand Classico of Saudi Arabia in Jeddah. And yesterday I was arguing that for me, I don't see anything wrong that El Clasico is being played or Saudi Arabia. Now, why do I say that? Because if you look at the conversation of the El Gran Clasico, sometimes football has been taken away from even the original fans, and it's for money. I've sat here and I've explained that in terms when you're talking about even revenue, TV revenue, these days it's not enough. Really, it's not enough. It's just chicken change in the grand scheme of things. And what you want is more revenue. Most of the revenue comes from stadium attendances and stuff like that. And Saudi Arabia gives teams that opportunity to get all of those money over there. And now, Barca 4 president Juan Laporta performed the famous Saudi Arabia soul dance with Prince Abdullah bin Saad bin Abdulaziz bin Saud yesterday, our Jeddah, Saul dance, traditional for Saudi Arabians now. And then at exactly 8 p.m. CET, there's going to be the game between FC Barcelona and my friend Real Madrid, or the Supercopa final, something that's going to be huge for both teams, especially for Madrid and Barcelona. And now the two managers went in there. I was saying yesterday, said the game may be hinged on the technical ability of the two midfielders. If you remember the first Classico, Sabor, Madrid got a lot of chances in the opening numbers of the game because of Barca for high lineup. I am thinking that Hansi Flick will not go into this game again and go and act as if he's a rookie coach. Not on another very aggressive highline game, because Carlo Ancelotti will learn from some mistakes now. He will try to correct them. He will try to make sure say in match be saying that he is not just going to go into that match without any form of cover, without any form of knowing exactly how to deal with team and friend in Real Madrid, with team and friend in Barcelona with a high line. And very, very sure say Madrid will do a lot of the deep runs, from deep to make sure they hit FC Barcelona. Now, if you watch the game that we've seen in recent times, Casado, Pedri, Gavi have been very important to team and friend FC Barcelona with a job of Hansi Flick. Now, why am I saying this? In a game like this where Madrid midfield and yet the most balanced. Madrid's midfield is not the most balanced. Yes, individually, a very, very good team. Valverde, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, very, very good. They can hit you when you allow them to hit them. Of course, also will be to say Federico Valverde. He can hit you from a shot of outside the box, and in the ball striking ability, and he will hit you. When you look at somebody like also, what's his name? When you look at somebody like Jude Bellingham, he can make deep runs into the box, crash it, and then he will hit you. Now, if you look at all of these, you know that these players can hit you individually. But in terms of a well-oiled, balanced team, the three La Masia boys seems to have exactly what it takes to control games, to dominate the games, and to make sure they create sustained spells of pressure for team and friend and Barca to make things happen over there. I think that there's a little bit of an advantage for team your friend of FC Barcelona. Like we said several times, when you watch the Barca team, yes, Rafinha has been scoring the goals, but it actually takes Lamine Yamal ebobia. Even Lamine Yamal original Fiifi-Manfred so original wings on him. That's why Yene Jumano he comes inside. Jules Koundé keeps the wicket in the back three. Abrantia friend Rafinha will come inside. Alejandro Bado will keep the wicket and play as a natural winger. I think it helps the team so much. It helps the team in terms of creating quality chances and playing very, very well. And that's something I'm expecting to see inside games now. It's something I'm really, really expecting that's going to go on. Say Rafinha will come inside, Alejandro Bado will keep the width, because like we said, Rafinha is a natural right winger and a natural left winger, so he'll come inside to try and use his right foot in the half space as a 10. Then you have Lamine Yamal keeping the weight on the other side, so it helps with a balance in that regard. Now, once that is done, it's about Barca's highline. I think that's the biggest issue. Also, we have seen that in most times where Barca have played against teams, what they do is that Barca are good in terms of 1v1 draws from outside. They win those numbers. They're able to be aggressive and defend them well. If you do, then there's always a chance against team and friend FC Barcelona going into this one against Real Madrid. Madrid have also a very good chance with Thibaut Courtois back into the post, having Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, and Abrante friend Rodrigo Goes getting into some good form now. It's a good one for team and friend FC Real Madrid. The other one, obviously, the big one between Arsenal and Manchester United in the English FA Cup. I think that game is a straightforward match. I've said it. The last one away at the Emirates, yes, Ruben Amorim's team, they were very good. They tried to play well, tried to dominate the game and stuff like that. But to be very honest with you, I think it's going to be more difficult even again this time because it's the FA Cup. And our team's team, the most decorated FA Cup history, 13 and 14. Over them, played more finals than anybody. So obviously, these are guys who are very decorated in there. But I think when you play at the Emirates, that's actually the Arsenal Bournemouth game, how they have different forms of varying the game. I don't see Arsenal losing. I think that is a game where it may be, what's the name? It's going to be something like, it's going to be something like a Manchester United, Arsenal double chance of you. Like I've said several times, when the Arsenal team have all the elements that are in there, defensively it's hard for them to lose, especially when they are playing at home. And I think that they have a lot more. Manchester United cannot defend set pieces and crosses. It's something that's been a huge burden to them throughout the season, even under Erik Ten Hag and same under Ruben Amorim. Again, in a game against Liverpool, and the positive I hear about Manchester United was to be proactive, to step up and make out danger, to be aggressive in the channels with our centre backs now, to follow people around, not to sit off them and allow people to pick up balls and turn at them. When people pick up the balls and turn at you, it's always going to be difficult. And that's what we are expecting. So Manchester United are going to be more proactive. If they are more proactive and they are aggressive, and then they get into battles, they get into the face of Arsenal, it will open up the game and give them a huge chance of winning. But if you look at the nitty-gritties of the game, like set pieces, any sign of money from open play control, what Arsenal can do there, I think it's going to happen when even Ruben Amorim may free Sporting CP now. Our Brentford friend Mikel Arteta and Yomoko Boy or the 3-back, he press it aggressively. Again, away at Internazionale Milan, Arsenal did see him, they press the 3-back aggressively. I think that's what they're going to do again. They're going to be very aggressive on the 3-back. They're going to make them uncomfortable, especially in wide areas, to force them to make mistakes. When they do, Arsenal may pounce on it and get some goals in there. So I think Arsenal have what it takes to go ahead and win that match with the Emirates. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. We'll see you later in the day. Bye bye.